welcome to Urbanise Talks, where we unpack real conversation shaping the way we live and work in tech. When we talk about AI at work, the conversation often stops with engineers, developers, and data scientists, but the real shift is happening elsewhere in marketing, in HR, finance, operations, and even frontline roles. Today, we're unpacking what AI actually looks like in everyday work and how professionals can start using it responsibly and effectively. Instead of one guest today, we've brought together a panel, four professionals from different roles, each experiencing AI in their work in very real and practical ways. Welcome, everybody. Thank you. So I'm going to get you to introduce yourself and maybe tell us a little bit about your role, and then we can start. Willem, let's start with you.
Hi, thank you, Patricia. My name is Willem Perelt. I'm a web designer. I enjoy e-commerce and I use it on a daily basis, the AI topic that we're discussing. So yeah, I'm very thank you for the opportunity.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Joseph. I'm a salesperson, and I don't use AI. I don't trust it, and I think the human experience should be better than the AI experience. And that's it.
Thank you, Joseph.
Hi, I'm Maria Betwe, and I'm an e-commerce assistant, and I focus on the front end of making sure that the e-commerce website is always looking posh. So I obviously use AI because we need it from time to time.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Hi, thanks, Natasha. My name is Paul Jackson. I'm sales manager at Urbanise Technology. AI is part of our life, so we integrate it in our daily routine. I was a non-believer in using AI, but I have subsequently progressed.
Okay. Good to have you guys. I think let's start off by addressing the myth that AI isn't coming. It's already part of our jobs. So I know Joseph did indicate that he is not using AI, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about that now. But I think, Willem, let's start with you. AI isn't coming. It's already part of my job. What are your thoughts on that, Sandy?
Well, actually, I read about AI before the interview. Actually started in 1950. There was a conference called I think it's a Dartmouth conference. If my pronunciation might be out. But at that stage, people thought that AI would take over human jobs and functions.
Yes.
But I think in 1997, that was the first time AI beat a human at chess. The AI was DeepSeek that beat, I think, Gary Kasparov, if I also pronounce it correctly, at chess. But in my daily life with AI, you must embrace AI. It's part of the new future. You mustn't be scared of it. I use it daily basis. My daily basis, I use it as a predictive text module,
Right.
where I structure my work. I do forecasting, I do analysis, I do reporting. So yes, I embrace AI fully. And with new AI features coming out daily,
Yeah.
it's a wonderful thing to use.
You know, predictive text and analytics and just like forecasting, and those are things that you mentioned already. It used to take us a lot of time before, and Excel spreadsheet could take us sometimes days. How is as using the predictive text function reduced your workload in terms of how long it takes you now to generate some analytics and forecasts, or as it made it a lot, more intricate? How has it worked for you?
Sure, it's amazing. I can do a report in 10 minutes.
Right.
It used to take me up to an hour to do.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you look at Copilot integrates into Excel.
Mm.
The data sets that you can analyze in a fragment of time
Yes.
is amazing.
Okay.
So I would recommend anybody you get Copilot, use it, get used to it, don't be afraid of it, integrate into your PC. Understand the risk, there's risks involved.
Yes.
Sometimes it can be errors,
Yes.
you can analyze the data incorrectly.
Yes.
You need to check the data before you obviously do that. Some people use AI to write their emails. Obviously you need to rewrite it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I use it daily.
Okay. Joseph, you?
I hear you, Natasha, and I hear what Willem is saying, but I think that just proves it. It can be incorrect.
Yes.
If it can make up its own things, why do I then have to use something? Especially in my job. I mean, I'm going out looking for people for my sales environment, and I'm now putting in data, and then it gives me the incorrect data. How do I then go ahead and want to use this thing on my daily life? I mean, I don't even have a smartphone. I literally have a small, just for calls and SMSs, because I can't trust anything on the internet. I can't trust anything. I mean, look at what the wars that are happening currently. That's possibly also based on AI pushing it out there.
Right.
So I'm out, and I understand, yes, quicker, better, but if you still have to go back and check it, why not just do it yourself from the beginning?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think the myth you saying AI isn't coming, it's already part of my job, doesn't apply to you. Because do you feel you're working at capacity in terms of your efficiency and productivity levels now? Because you're not having to recheck data, you're not having to, rely on an algorithm to spit out information that you already generate.
Yeah, I think it does, yes, obviously take me longer than
Right.
than other people, but I think I just have it correct.
Oh, yes.
You know, it's a matter of, yes, there is human error, but now when you also have human error mixed with artificial intelligence error,
Right.
what can be out there? What more error is,
Yeah.
you know?
So you're saying it takes you longer, but the quality of your work is definitely better.
Yes,
You feel
100%.
so.
I feel that
Okay.
it's better.
Ria, what are your views? AI isn't coming, it's already part of my job.
Definitely, that's the case with me because working in e-commerce, you're working with loads of data, high amounts of data that need to be processed daily. You always need to be forecasting, thinking ahead of maybe what a customer might like, what's going to be appealing to them.
Yes.
And working with AI helps me speed up those processes. Something as simple as how a product appears on a website goes a long way in e-commerce because maybe the wording in that product is what might actually prompt a customer to buy.
Yes.
And sometimes you could use AI to enhance the wording, maybe in a way that a perspective that you're not familiar with. You could end up identifying those loopholes in e-commerce. So I definitely agree that AI is a part of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
For your views?
Natasha, I was like Joseph. I didn't embrace AI. I thought the fear of it replacing one's job is a sentiment that a lot of people have that
Yes.
don't understand it. How it integrates in my life, my daily routine. AI is just a tool. Okay, it is going to give you incorrect information, but that's not because it's guided properly. If you guide AI, it's just going to write reports. It's just going to spit out data. It's for your role is still to interrogate that data, have a look at, make it feel yours. This thing, if you want to pitch a product to somebody, understand what the target market is, as has been said now in e-commerce. There's information that we don't know how to get it across the line. And I think AI, if it is used correctly, it's just there to get you give you a broader thought pattern and identify key points that'll get you across the line. I think that's why AI is there.
I think I'm hearing all of you saying it's not here to take over, it's here to enhance,
Correct.
And to Joseph's point, and Joseph's experience is shared by a lot of the public, because AI, the misuse of AI, and that's what we'll talk about a little bit later, can also be quite dangerous. I think when people hear AI at work, tell me a little bit about what you think they misunderstand or they overestimate. Paul, I think let's start with you here.
Again, I'm going to go to the point. I think a lot of people misunderstand that it's going to take their roles. I think there is that fear. There's certain elements of one's role that it is going to replace. But AI is not going to make a judgment call for you. It's not going to have that personal feel. It'll robotically or artificially understand what your question is, but there's no human factor in that, and it's for you to interpret that information. I think the fear or progression of use of AI in our company, our daily routines needs to be understood and embraced and used correctly.
Yeah. But you, Ria?
In my opinion, I think as employees, there needs to be the thought process that when you come to a company, you're trying to work efficiently and effectively.
Yes.
So AI helps you with the repetitive tasks that are more time consuming,
Yeah.
which you could use to an advantage because you get to deal with more complex tasks that actually need you to apply yourself, where AI cannot really reach. And also, we need to remember that with AI, you can't really put sensitive data on there. Well, according to most companies' etiquettes, I mean, confidentiality is a thing. So, with the repetitive tasks being put aside, you have more time to focus on the important stuff because you can't make mistakes with sensitive information.
Yes.
So, it really does play a big role. And if employees be more adaptable towards it instead of neglecting it, thinking it's here to take from them,
Yes.
they should work with it and not against it.
Yeah. Philip, you?
I've got a very short answer. I think that because you can use the tool so effectively to improve your workload,
Yeah.
you can be more productive, and in that sense, you can make more money. So yeah, it's a very simple concept. I mean, if you look at TikTok, it's an algorithm that shows you the videos you like. The algorithm. YouTube uses TikTok, Shopify, Spotify. Sorry, not Shopify, Spotify. There's many tools. Google Maps predicts traffic. So I mean, work-related, it's an amazing tool.
I think to Joseph's earlier point, and a lot of the public, feel this way. Then where's that personal interaction? If an algorithm can tell me really what I'd like and what I should be watching based on my search criteria, stuff like that, where does that leave us with this sort of interaction?
I think, Natasha, I just also want to go ahead and also ask the question of that with AI, and I hear everyone saying it's enhancing, it's not there to take over. And I think I think with a lot of us out there, we are saying that it has taken over. We look at the industries, the motor industry, for instance, has been replaced by AI. We buy cars as pushing that the AI platform is now going to take over the salespeople's jobs. So I think as much as I'm not using AI right now, and I do hear Paul's point, and maybe I should look into it and be more open, but at the same time, I become open to it, and then I end up being in a situation where AI is taking over my job. It does my cold calls for me, it does my meetings for me. And yes, there will be someone at the end to make the decision, but I'm no longer part of the
equation.
The equation. And I think that's where a lot of us are hesitant to go ahead and work with this, because the longer we delay it, the more I keep my job.
Yes.
Joseph, I think it needs to be embraced. I think it needs to be. AI is going to happen. Regardless, it's going to happen. If you are not embracing it and using it to your full capability, you are going to be left behind. And that's my viewpoint. That's why I made the educated. I didn't AI it. I made it educated. It was the personal side for mine. I made a personal decision. It was my choice to embrace it, because I thought if I'm not embracing it to do the menial tasks, like was just said now, it does your day-to-day menial tasks. That frees up my time to do what I'm more effective to do. Okay, and I think that needs to be embraced. And I was in your shoes, and it was my decision to move forward, and I celebrated. We all use ways to get to the office. We use your points. TikTok is a way of life at the moment.
Yeah.
Technology is going to move. Resist it, and I think you'll be left by the wayside.
I think just to touch on what Joseph, to expand on what he asked, because that is definitely some of the public's viewpoint. Is AI adoption today more about technical skill set, or do you think it's a mindset shift? What do you guys?
So I can go first. I do agree with you that it's a big security risk. I mean, if people use open AI and they share their passwords in there, they don't understand that their data gets shared with amongst all the users on the platform. So there's settings in ChatGPT where you can disable data sharing. But if you read the terms and conditions of ChatGPT, they can still take your data.
Yes.
So yeah, there's things you can do to protect yourself. The security settings you can do. I wouldn't share any personal information or any passwords on ChatGPT or any AI device. So yeah, on my side, that's it. I think just have your use ChatGPT as a tool, like Paul said, and embrace it. Use it wisely.
Yeah,
And don't trust it. You can make mistakes.
Agreed. Agreed. There's licensing, non-licensing, there's the protection. Everything that we do, Natasha, in a technical environment, it needs to be protected.
Yeah.
So data in, data out.
Yes.
But back to the question, do you think AI adoption is more about having a technical mindset, or do you think it's about really having a mindset shift? Because I think in this podcast, we really talk about adding value as an individual to the company and vice versa, being teachable. And now with the advances in technology that is happening so rapidly, especially in the ICT sector that we are employed in, do we not, in order to provide the best solution to our customer, do we not have to stay informed and at the forefront of those sort of advances?
100%.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think we have to be at the forefront. We have to show what we sell. We have to use what we sell. We have to understand the technology. We have to be able to communicate that mindset change. Those people, not the bad mindset, those people that are resistant to change are not going to embrace this technology. It's what we as an organization sell. It's where the world is technology roadmap. It's where the world's go.
So you were saying it's a mindset shift.
I think it's a mindset shift. We have to embrace it, understand it.
Okay, you, Ria?
I also think it's a mindset shift because if you think about it, this is the fastest that technology has ever evolved. Because, for example, let's say maybe in the early 2000s, I think when washing machines were invented, and the older generation refused to switch to that because they felt that their clothes would be ruined. There'd be too many things going on. But if there was always that instructions manual that you had to follow for things to go according to plan, so that you can get the best results out of the product. And I think that's the same mindset we need to have with AI.
Yeah.
Obviously, you read maybe about it, find out what are the risks that are associated with it. And once you know those, you know that if I'm going to interact with AI, I can't put my personal information.
Yes.
I cannot put information that's going to cause an outburst if it's breached. So things like that, I think, is also, it goes with your person. You apply those things in your personal life. That's the same stuff you need to apply when you're interacting with AI.
Yes.
So
Like any other tool.
like any other tool,
Could have put my bank account number
on AI.
It's
Joseph, you, in terms of, is it a technical, is using AI adoption and AI adoption specifically, do you think it's having a technical mindset? Do you think we need to establish now a different mindset?
I think platforms like this, Natasha, are going to be of benefit to people like us because I think it's also understanding what AI is and what it can do and what the limitations of AI are, and being able to say, you need to learn. I think, as everyone has said, go into it and embrace it and understand it for yourself and see where you could be. And I think we are, as a generation and as a as people who are employed now, there's a difference. When you look at how things were done in the 1980s and the 1990s, how work was then, and then you look at what it is now in the 2020s and 21st century, it's different. Even with the children, I must say, yes, I do have children of my own as well, and there's a 10-year gap between the two of them. The one lived a little bit in the in the 2000s, the early 2000s, and the one is at the late 2000s. And even them are different. The one has screen time constantly,
Yes.
looking at the screens, and he's never not been in front of a screen. So his processing of information is completely different from my eldest son, who still didn't have a phone until he hit, or didn't even know YouTube. There was no TikTok, there was no Instagram until now. He is now hit 15. Then you look back at when I was growing up, I didn't even have a cell phone. What was a cell phone? There was no cell phone. There was no social media. There was no, it was you play outside and you come back. If you wanted to research, if you want to look for someone's phone number, you're going through the yellow pages. You're going there's, so that shift, which is not even, it's not even 30 years, has happened in less than 30 years. So now the implementation and technical back prowess of that is understanding where, what, which, what stands and how to get there because it's happening. As Willem stated, this thing started in 1997.
Let's talk about it 1950.
1950s, and now it's 2026. How then, in a space of just 70 years, there's so much advancement.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to even learn, what can I do with AI?
Yes.
What can AI do for me? And how do I build myself? You will be left behind to Paul's point.
So you're saying it's a mindset.
It is a mindset shift that I think needs to happen. And I think it's mindset with understanding and a little bit of technicality.
Okay. You for that?
I think that you can take a junior developer, you can give him the best AI tools, and he can do a senior developer role.
Mm.
That's the power of AI.
Yeah.
But there's also a compromise. The code can be so advanced that there might be loopholes or errors in the code, so it needs to be checked by a senior developer.
Yes.
So you might not need 10 senior developers, you might only need 3
Yes.
instead of that might be a problem. You might have job losses, like you said. But I believe in the long run, AI will create an environment where the economy can grow more jobs will be created. It's like a revolution, industrial revolution.
Yes.
When the people went from farming by hand
To
to machinery. Yes.
So I think all of us agree in terms of, there's use case that's applicable to us where we've used certain AI tools and we continue to use it every day. And I think the message is to use it responsibly, use it ethically. I think the idea of copying and pasting, which Willem adhered to a little earlier, is really a thing of the past because you still want your own voice and you still want your own, to Joseph's point, you still want the personal touch in that interaction. So it's important to use the tools responsibly, to use it ethically. To Paul's earlier point about prompting, the prompt that you give an AI bot or an AI tool and how you progress through refining those prompts is essentially the type of data that you're going to get out. I know for me in research, if you're reading multiple articles, like if you're reading 1,000 articles, academic articles at a time, and you need to be able to get a synopsis of each of those, you can do that in a fraction of the time. So yes, it does, increase productivity to Ria's point, and it does increase efficiency. But the idea, and I think the message is to use AI responsibly, and I think not to be, afraid of something that we do not know. And I think that goes to our next point in terms of what fears do you think are holding people back for starting to hold you back when you heard of Copilot and ChatGPT and Grok and Claude and all of those platforms. Anybody want to go first?
I think because I figured last, I'll speak on that. I think the biggest fear is that I lose my job.
Right.
I think the other fear, which obviously when you go in the bigger scheme of things, we're going to turn into the matrix where the machines are going to take. There's a lot of fear because we don't understand and we don't, and I think there's also limited resources for you to go out to get. Yes, it's there on the internet, Google, but also the fear of going onto Google and searching. I'm not sure if I'm going to get an AI prompted response. I'm not getting the real information that I need to get there. And that's also where I think there needs to be an education as to this is real, this is not real, this is what this can do, this is where it can go. And I think that's the fear of this. I don't know what's now real and what's not real. And the fear of not and being left behind because I don't have the expertise.
And for those of you that agree with Joseph and would like more information, sales@urbanise.tech. We can assist you with that information. We will help you We will come into your environment. We will look at what systems you have at the moment, what you currently need, and our consultants will be able to take you throughout that process. So please contact us on Sales and Urbanise. Anybody else in terms of fields?
If I can go first, second. So, I think there's a big cybersecurity risk involved with AI. In the future, I think we're going to have a AI that fights the AI sort of environment with threats. So yeah, that's one of my fears. I think that's a possibility, and that's why you need to have antivirus. You need to have a strong system, a secure environment. The Copilot environment it's run by the structure in the Microsoft environment. If you use free ChatGPT, you don't have that protection. So I would recommend people get the licensing for Copilot. It's very important so you can get protection for your
And I think the licensing for everybody to just understand is made extremely affordable. From end user up to enterprise level. Once again, contact us at sales@urbanise.tech and we will walk you through the process and give you some more information on the licensing. You can also look forward to our next episode, which will talk about cybersecurity, to Willem's point, and the importance of what systems need to be in place from grassroots and foundational level in order to protect yourself and your business as well as your data, I think, which is the most important thing. Anyone else in terms of fields that we should consider when using AI?
With me, I think regarding fears, I was reading up about AI obviously when I was still starting in with it, and I also realized that there weren't any official laws that were put in place for individuals to protect from other individuals. Because companies, yes, you could have laws, don't put confidential information, don't put passwords and all, but the individuals out there like hackers and or could be using it because obviously hackers are people that are always trying to find the next thing.
Yes.
So they're going out of their way to see how far they can use this. And that for me was a bit of a question mark because we are being hesitant towards learning it, whereas the people who are trying to find out more are trying to find out how to use it in malicious ways.
Yes.
And we being misinformed or uninformed about the dangers that are coming does put us at a very high risk.
Yeah.
So maybe someone like Joseph on the side who has children to exclude himself won't know what other dangers are there because he doesn't know the process, he doesn't know what is out there. Maybe he doesn't know that certain links need to be avoided to avoid attacks because they get you in the most simple way where you don't really think to get it.
And I think that's so important that we need to have the right security in place, which is why throughout the month we will be talking about the different firewalls that need to be in place and how we need to be able to protect ourselves, like we said, as well as the businesses. I think let's talk about one AI tool everybody should, you guys feel should experience this year or should experiment with. Well, let's go there.
One,
One AI tool that you feel somebody should experiment with.
I think everyone should chat or Copilot, paid for version, obviously, because it in my life, in my daily routine, it makes you can summarize emails, you can put data in that can project
Should project.
yeah, I'm just on the point here. Sorry. It totally off the point. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Ring you. One tool that people should experiment.
I think I would agree with the co-pilot and ChatGPT because I think because I'm also freshly out of varsity, I used ChatGPT now and then to try and explain questions further beyond the understanding that I had. Because a lot of times you find complex questions that maybe words covered in class,
Yes.
and you need a deeper understanding. Because obviously, with the university's systems in place, you can't really use AI.
No, you can't.
But you can use it to try and get a better understanding so you can answer the question correctly. So you could use AI to gain understanding for yourself, gain skills in a way, because it does also teach a lot. Instead of just making it do the job for you, instead use it to enhance your understanding of topics.
Yes. Joseph, any tools you should want to try?
I
That you're
think,
thinking of?
I think from listening with everyone, the biggest one would be Copilot and trying to understand from the perspective of having it licensed so that my information is protected.
Right.
I also just want to learn more about what the different AI tools are. I heard you mention the Grok, and I don't know any of those. So I think I will go out and find something and do a little bit more research and probably come back to the show and say what I found and bring it up to the people out there and see what we can do. I do know I've heard there is language learning modules that companies use for themselves. Is that something Urbanise does as well?
Yeah, we do. But I think just talk to us at, like I said, at sales@urbanise.tech, and we'll give you some more information. Paul, what you wanted to expand on that?
So just if these are done every day, I would go to Copilot. So those people who do not use AI, start with Copilot, start with the licensed version of Copilot so your information is not there, your company is protected. It does assist in a sales environment, which I'm going to speak of, because you can throw information out there and extrapolate what you need, what business pillars you want to target, what specific products you want to push to the market, how to target that market. If you want to, from a canvassing perspective, you can put in company information that does training companies. If you want to break into AI, just go with Copilot, throw a little bit of information. And we've all said information in is dangerous, okay? Because you get information out that is not necessarily what you're wanting to predict forward. So your analytics of that information that you put in is important. Okay, so throw information, utilize it for a sales environment, which I'm going to speak to, analyze the information and use it to the human inside you. Okay.
Philip, you?
From my side, I use there's a few tools within Copilot.
Yes.
There's a research tool.
Yes.
There's a tool that you can do. Let's say, for example, I want to research a topic.
Yes.
You can put in your information and we'll do a comprehensive research on a website or anything. You can scan websites. You can build agents for yourself.
Yes.
Where you can it can automate some of your work,
Yes.
your workflow. It can monitor emails. So if you have an inbox where there's thousands of mails coming in daily, it can summarize that emails for you daily. But look, it's obviously you need to play around with it. You can ask AI how to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think for me, there's so many platforms out there, and each platform is the output that you're going to get from each platform and from each model depends on what you're trying to achieve. So I think it's important to try responsibly try different tools and compare the data that you find. To Ria's earlier point, this helps not do your work for you. So I just want to clarify again, AI doesn't do your work for you. It enhances your current thought process. It can do a deep dive into what you're currently working with, and it can show you trends and patterns that you may have missed. So the idea is to use it responsibly, but to use the different platforms. And to Joseph's earlier point, to research as well, to just research exactly what you want to achieve, and it'll help you to find the best model. I think one mistake new AI users make. What do you guys think those are? Philip, can we start with you?
I would say people don't really understand that they must teach AI to give them correct responses. So within AI, there's a place where you can tell the AI how you would like your responses to be.
Yeah. So
Would you like it? Yeah. Would you like it to be mathematical?
Yes.
Would you like it to be factual?
Yes.
So that can give you the proper responses that you require.
So basically prompt well.
You can prompt well, but there's settings that you can set in the background.
Yes.
Where you can tell it, this is the way I want you to prompt me. This is the way I want you to give me feedback.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Joseph, from your side, what do you think some of the mistakes people make when using AI?
By putting all our information on it.
Right.
I think that's where we lose touch with how safe I am. We have placed my home address. I've said, I've put my banking details and saying that I want AI to help me build up my security. But instead of putting bettering the security, I've actually put myself in danger by putting all that.
We should definitely avoid sharing personal information. You, Rita?
I think it would be new users using it as a copy and paste tool instead of an education.
Yes, I agree with it.
Instead of using AI to try and enhance the information they already have, they'll just take what AI gives them and copy and paste it to it. For example, school children nowadays, if you give them an assignment, they just put it into AI, don't even bother going through whether it's right or wrong, and just write it in their scripts and hand it in. Instead, they could use it to summarize their study material into a way that they understand it better, or summarize their past exam question papers so that they can understand it better, so that when they walk into their exam room, they are able to understand and answer the questions according to what is required.
And they're a bit more prepared.
Yes.
Especially with all the information out there, it's hard to be able to take it, like what information is applicable to me. And I think if they use it to summarize, and it'll help them be more prepared. You, Paul?
I think it's Sue's point. AI is the first time users of AI will just copy and paste and put it in. We've seen it in schools, we've seen it in presentations, we've seen it. If you're going to be putting the same information in, you're going to get the same information. So 10 people will be presenting on the same on topic and get the same information out. AI is in place for you just to interrogate the information and make yourself better.
So I think we're saying overall, let's use the tools, let's use it independently, let's use it and personalize it to each of our requirements, but not to copy and paste. And to make it a little bit more personal, because that's really what the algorithm lacks. And I think we are not in a space where humans can be replaced just yet. So I think one skill that professionals should build to stay relevant. What do you think those are? If you can think of one skill that professionals need to build to stay relevant.
I think they just need to skill themselves up on the technology and what it can do for you. I think you need to be up current with where technology is, the threats of technology, where it can impact you, but the benefits. If you stay upfront with technology and in the know, I think you can use technology to your benefit at all times.
You agree?
I think they could upskill on their decision making capabilities,
Right.
because AI can give you 10 different answers to choose from. And it's up to you to be able to go through each one and choose which one is best suitable for the situation you're in. Because obviously, with AI, it takes broad information. Maybe you didn't explain your situation in detail, and it just gives you a broad overview of what you're dealing with. But if you've got the good decision making skills or comprehensive decision making skills, you'll be able to use it in a way that will benefit you in the best way possible.
Joseph, your thoughts?
I think as well, the biggest ones, I think it's to Willem's point that you brought up earlier, quality. That's one skill I think everyone needs to learn from how to prompt your AI and your tool, and to ensure that it gives you the best results and the best information. I think that would be the first thing that one needs to learn from it.
Thank you, Ben.
So, skills. I think you need to understand technology. Businesses needs to understand that it's vital for them to be on the latest software. All the patching needs to be in place. Businesses needs to spend money on technology. They will be compromised if they don't do that. And I think businesses try to always avoid spending money on technology they don't think is important. And that's very important for companies to stay secure. You don't want to come to work one day and all your files are encrypted, and somebody's compromised all your servers and all your systems.
Yes.
If you're on the latest patches, got the latest, then you're fine. Yeah.
So thank you everybody for your time. I think I want to leave you with just one task for this week until we meet again. So choose one repetitive task this week and explore how AI can support you, not replace, but support. And then we'll chat again soon. Remember, contact us on sales@urbanise.tech. Thank you.